Okay, here are the answers for 821 review preview part 2. 853 says which is greater, 3.56 times 10 to the 4th or 1.9 times 10 to the 6th. So I know it's 1.9 times 10 to the 6th because 6 is greater than 4. And we just look at their exponents. 854, write the following numbers in scientific notation. So I got to put my decimal point between 3 and 7. So it's 3.7 times 10. And my exponent is the number of spaces I have to move over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it'd be to the 8th power. B, I'm going to put it between the 7 and the 6. So 7.6 times 10 to the 3rd, because I move over 1, 2, 3 spaces. Don't get mixed on the number of zeros, it's the spaces. Simplify each expression. So 6 to the 5th power, I'm just going to put in my calculator, is 7,776. 2/3 to the 3rd power, I'm actually going to leave it as a fraction. So I would do 2 to the 3rd power, which is 8, and 3 to the 3rd power, which is 27. So my answer would be 8 over 27. I have to do 5 to the 4th power because 2 plus 3 is 5. And it's 625. So for D, I have to simplify first. So -1/2 plus 3/4 is -2/4 plus 3/4 to the 3rd power, so it's 1/4. So I'm doing 2 times 1/4 to the 3rd power. So raise it to the power first. So 4 to the 3rd power is 64. So I end up with 2 over 64. Which simplifies to 1 over 32, which was my final answer. Problem 55, consider the equation. Stanley wants to start solving by adding 5 to both sides, while Karen first wants to subtract 7 from both sides. Will both strategies work? The answer is yes, they both work. Is one strategy more efficient than the other? Stanley's is more efficient because it gets the variable on one side and the numbers on the other. Part B, actually solve it. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So I get 12 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3. End up with x equals 4. Problem 57, examine the table. What's the rule for the table? So I started out with y equals, and I know it's going to be -2. So I know I'm going to have x minus 2 because 0 and -2. So then I looked at the 4. So if I work backwards and add 2 to 4, so 4 plus 2 equals 6, and think what number times 2 is 6, so what number times 2 will equal 6, and I get 3. So let's see if it's 3x. So then I double check with the 4. 3 times 4 is 12, minus 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15, minus 2 is 13. So then you can explain it based on what I just said. 58, it says graph the equation. Start by making an XY table. Be sure to include negative values. So I actually gave you the values I wanted you to use. So if you were to plug these into your calculator, let me move this down just a little bit. If you were to plug this into the calculator, this is what you would end up doing. So, and that would be my suggestion. You're going to do -2, parenthesis, whatever the number is, -4, to the 2nd power, -4, parenthesis, -4. You put it in your calculator exactly like that, it's going to give you the answer. So -2 times -4 squared -4 times -4. And it gave me the answer of -16. So now to plug in -3, I just go up in my calculator and change all the -4s to -3s, and it gives me -6. Same thing for -2. Gives me 0. The other one gives me 2. Zero gives me 0. But I notice it's starting to repeat. So -6, -16. So when I go to graph it, -4 is -16. then negative 3 is negative 6. 0 is negative 2 is 0. Negative 1 is positive 2. 0 is 0. 1 is negative 6. And 2 is negative 16. It makes this shape. So then the problem said, is it linear or nonlinear? The answer is nonlinear because it's a parabola.